Hi everyone. So this week a lot of people are starting to trim up their houses for Christmas. So I thought you might want to put a little decoration up of yourself, or maybe even in your bedroom. So I had a little go this week at making this, my own little Christmas tree, complete with baubles. So let's have a look at how we can make it. Well, there's a couple of ways. You can either get yourself a paper plate, but you would have to paint it green on both sides, or if you've got some, you can use some green card because that's already green on both sides. So I'm quite lucky, I've got the green card. So the first thing we need to do is get ourselves a circle to form the tree. So to make sure I get a proper neat circle, I happen to have a popcorn bucket that I can put onto my green card. I can draw all the way around it very carefully, and then I can cut it out and I'm left with a nice green circle. Okay? The next thing you need to do is pop your circle down and draw like a big swirly design on it. So take your time with it. I'm going to do mine fairly quick, but basically you do a big swirl. Looks a little bit like a snail shell, like so. You can always ask your grown-up helper to give you a hand with this if you want. So the next thing to do is to cut all around the swirl. So again, you're starting off and you're just following your line. Now I've done mine in black pen. You can just do your swirl in pencil. I just did black pen so that you could see where my line is. So I'm going round and around and around and round like a dizzy duckling, and I'm just cutting where my line swirled. Starts curling round on you. So this is going to form the tree part of your decoration. So again, whiz, 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 whiz. You take your time, and you might have to have your grown-up help you with this bit. Now, when you get to the end, you just make a little bit. So I've cut all around the twirl, and when I lift up right at the very end, it twirls out. Looks a little bit like a Christmas tree shape. The next thing you need to do, now you will need help with this, is make a hole right in the top so that you can put your bit of string through that you're going to hang it with. So I've just used a pencil to make a little hole in the top, you can see it there. And then I've got my wool here, and I'm going to pass it through. I just used a little bit of a piece of wool. You can use string, whatever you want to hang it up. I just happen to have some green wool. And you just pop it through the hole when it wants to go, so that you can form the hanging loop. When you've passed it through the hole, you can use a little bit of sellotape just to hold it in place, like so. So now you've made the tree part of your hanger. The next thing we want to do, right on top of the tree, well, some people put fairy. I'm going to put a star on the top of mine. If you have a look and see, now if you can see, the star actually goes both sides of the string. And the way I do that, I've cut out my star shape from yellow card, but I've cut two out. Okay, I put two pieces together and I cut them out so that I've got them matching. In the middle of that, now you can use your glue, but just for speed, I'm going to use good old double-sided sticky tape. I'm going to put a little bit of tape on. So I've got tape on one side. I just need to remind myself which way it goes, that way. Then I'm going to hold up the string on my tree, and I'm just going to put the string like through the middle of the star. Can you see that? And I've got a bit of tape either side holding that. Then I'm going to get the next bit, the other star, and I'm going to stick that, but you can use glue, onto the first half. So now, if it's going to stick, I have 2 halves of my star. I might need another piece of tape on that. Okay, so again, you take your time. If you don't want a star on the top of your tree and you'd rather have a fairy, that's absolutely fine. You can do that because it's your tree, isn't it? I've just put another bit of tape on there because it was a little bit floppy. So there's my star on my tree. The next thing my tree's got is some baubles. If you remember, it's got the little baubles hanging down there. Now, to make the baubles, I get myself pieces of card, all different colours. This just happens to be yellow. And again, I'm using 2 sides, and I put the 2 sides together, and then I'm going to cut a circle. Now you do yours much neater than mine. You can draw around penny or 10 pence or some other circular shape so that you end up with a circle. Again, those 2 circles are identical. That means they're exactly the same. Now you use glue. I'm going to use my double-sided tape. So I've put a little tape on the inside, and you're going to make a bit like a wool sandwich, I suppose. So I've got myself some wool, and I've just cut some little lengths off. And I'm going to lay the wool across where you will have glued, so it's making a bit of a tail. And then I'm going to put the other half, if you remember I had 2 halves that I cut together, the other half is going to get stuck on again and press down. I'm pressing down quite hard because I want the tape to stick. But of course you'll have your glue. You might have to leave these so that they'll dry. So you end up with a bauble. Now you can colour in your bauble and you can put patterns on them if you want. You might want to put some glitter on there. I'm just going to leave mine plain at the moment. So the next thing you want to do, you need to attach your bauble onto your tree. Now if I show you here, I've done a few baubles. Got red ones, orange ones. I've also got different sizes. Blue ones, red ones. So then I look on my tree and I think, all right, I'm going to have a bauble fairly near the top there. So I get my scissors and I'm going to cut a little slot in my tree. So I'm not going to go all the way through because otherwise I've cut my tree then. But I've just done a little cut about halfway. And then I'm going to choose a bauble. Now because it's the top of the tree, I'm going to choose quite a small one. I'm going to have this little orange one here. Sorry, this little red one here. And I'm going to put the string through the cut. Like so. So the bauble's hanging, but that bauble, can you see it's a little bit low, isn't it? Because it's already hanging onto that bit. So I'm going to pull the string up until it's about the right height for that tree. So you see there, it's still moving. So what I'm going to do now, because I've got quite a lot of string left at the top, I'm just going to snip a little bit off. Snip, snip, snip. And get a little bit of tape. Sellotape. And I'm just going to stick down that little tail, as it were, like so. So it's been cut through and the tail end has been stuck down so that when I hang it up, I have a bauble there. And then you do exactly the same again. So you're just going round. Oh, got my string caught on my scissors then. And I'd like another bauble there. So I'm going to cut half a space. Now, because that one's orange, I think I'm going to put a blue one on this time. And I'm going to just put the string in the slot. And again, I'm going to hang it up just to see if that's the right length. And yeah, I think that is the right length. So again, I'm going to cut the excess, that's the bit I don't want, the extra bit, off. A little bit of sellotape. And I'm going to stick that on there. My star's been a bit naughty tonight, it keeps falling off. Stay on, star, don't be naughty. Right, so now I have the red one and a blue one. And basically I just keep going around. So I tend to put the smaller ones near the top And I might decide next time I'm going to have, let's see, a yellow one. So here's a nice yellow one. So I might hang the yellow one maybe there. And I just keep going around filling them all up right the way, and then I've got some quite big ones I can hang off near the bottom so that I've got all the baubles on my tree. And as I say, if I wanted, I could put glitter on there, or I could decorate my baubles however I want. Now, if you've decided to use a paper plate, which is exactly the same, because you've already got your circle, you still do your swirly design, you still cut the design. Now, here's a plate that I've cut, but I didn't paint it. This was just to show you how it looks with a plate. So that's the paper plate, that's my design I did. I swirled it all the way around. And then when you cut it, you get the same swirl. And they look really good, these, when they're hung up as well. They look really effective. So, have fun with that. There's my little tree again. I think they look really pretty, these. And you could maybe put some names and things on the bauble. Totally up to you. And I'd love to see some pictures. So if you can, guys, send your photos to us and we'll pop it on the Facebook page. But take care, and I shall see you next week.